y'all gonna try to quarantine me or whatever, you can't force me to put anything in my own.
This is the real deal, and they're shutting the world down. Okay.
So the first thing that they did, it was very interesting. They did this in China, so they get this unknown bug, right? So what is one of the first things that they roll out is a mental health plan. Same thing in the United States. No sooner was this COVID announced as a national emergency, and they rolled out a mental health plan. And they said that the average American did not have the internal fortitude to endure a disaster. And so we were all being unofficially declared as mentally ill, needing the help of the health professionals, and we were not of sound mind to be able to deal with this crisis that we're seeing happening right now.
Writing many glowing articles promoting its use for spiritual distress and behavioral difficulties.
It was considered the chemical lobotomy instead of cutting off the frontal lobes of the brain with an ice pick.
In modern psychiatry, psychotropic drugs have become the weapons of choice. And research has shown that once put on psychotropic drugs, children are more likely not just to consider suicide, but to actually follow through.
What's the name of this proposal?
Yeah, so the name of this project is FunVax, which is the vaccine for religious fundamentalism. And on the left over here, we have individuals who are religious fundamentalists, religious fanatics, and this is the expression, RT-PCR, real-time PCR expression of the VMAT2 gene.
How would you suggest that this is going to be dispersed? With aerosol?
Well, so the present plan and the tests that we've done so far have used respiratory viruses, such as flu, or that they have overexpression of the VMAT2 gene, and that by vaccinating them against this, we'll eliminate this behavior. Here we have two brain scans. These are fMRIs. These are two different individuals with different levels of expression of VMAT2.
You know the old expression about snitches? Well, in this case, snitches get rewards. We want to thank you for turning folks in and making sure we are all safe.
The laws are to the point where anybody can be locked up pretty much for any time.
So who would you arrest here? For what? It seems like you need a reason. You were saying earlier
but
that...
you don't! That's the thing you're not understanding. So, they were in the street.
That's it? Enough. That's enough?
Yeah. We're setting the stage and then going, oh my gosh, look at this stage. Well, yeah, we created it.
You have to understand, though the news media puts it out as he was the self-confessed killer of King, that's not true. Pleading cause of Alford. That's A-L-F-O-R-D. It's a moderately old U.S. Supreme Court case, and it says, even if you are not actually guilty and you are pristinely innocent, you may plead guilty to the charge if you think that doing so is in your best interest.
The question was, would anyone detect that we were sane? The answer was, no. No one ever did.
We must reform our mental health laws to better identify mentally disturbed individuals who may commit acts of violence, and make sure those people not only get treatment, but when necessary, involuntary confinement.
So diagnosis is a weapon, a tool people use against one another, especially when there is some kind of power conflict present.
I was incredibly surprised at the rates that I had in terms of successfully implanting these false memories.
Snitches get rewards. We want to thank you for...
Not under risk. No, not under risk. How can you force me to do something? You can't go to. How can you force me to do something if I'm not under risk? I'm a man now. Listen to it, bro. I'm a man now. Don't listen.
So the doctors talked to you. They did not feel like you have the capacity to make medical decisions based on their discussion with you. And so
Tom, y'all know me, bro. I'm real, bro. I'm not crazy, bro. We're gonna tear this bitch up right now, bro. I'm gonna tear this bitch up right now, bro. You can't do that, bro. I'm telling you, bro. I don't want no shot, bro. Y'all begging you, bro. I'm begging you, bro. Please leave me alone. Please leave me alone. Please leave me alone, bro.
Not until you get on the bed.
I'm not getting on the bed. It doesn't work like that, bro. Can anybody know a lawyer, bro? Somebody see me a lawyer? No. It don't work like that, man. This ain't right, man. Don't put the phone down now, motherfucker. I'm not on drugs, none of that, bro. I'm insane. I'm insane, man. Y'all the ones that's crazy. Y'all the ones that's crazy, bro. No. Come on, bro. Get your motherfucking hands off me, bro. You don't work like that, bro. I would tell this bitch off me on my mama, nigga. Get on me. Get on me, bro. It don't work like that. I'm not shit ain't right, bro.
Hello, today is May 1st, 2020, and the time is 2:19 p.m. My last video, I talked about confidence. This video, I'm going to talk about will, or willpower, which ties into confidence. But also what ties into will, or willpower, is discipline. And with discipline, there's freedom. What is willpower, or will, one's will? Your will is your inner strength. For example, how easily you can bend to someone else's will or situation or whatever happens to be the case. Having a strong will is very important in survival. Now, we have an unfortunate thing that has occurred in our civilization where willpower, a strong will, a strong character, has been demonized, vilified by saying stubborn. Now, yes, being stubborn implies being consumed by a strong will, because, for example, if you're doing something wrong knowingly and you're too stubborn to change that, well, yes, the word stubborn applies, but that shows a strong will, a character. Now, where this is going to aid people in current events, for example, or in the future with whatever is going to be imposed, it's your will, your inner strength that will carry you. And if you're on the side of right or goodness or something, then that's going to determine your success or not. Now, success does not necessarily mean that nothing is going to happen to you, or someone or a group of will, different people, will not be able to impose and cause hardship. But where the success will shine through is that you will not bend. And taking, for example, the studies Julia Shaw made famous by implanting false memories, a strong-willed character would have a harder time accepting these false memories. Now, a strong will or willpower can be broken down over time through stress and what's called gaslighting and things of that nature. It just takes longer. The stronger will someone has, the longer something like that would take hold. But eventually, no matter how strong of a character you are, how strong your will is, or how much discipline you have, eventually everyone has a breaking point, and that's just a part of life. The key is to hang on as long as you can. And that will, that desire to, for example, survive or persevere something, will help determine your success. Now, going back to success, you could, for example, get through a difficult period of time through sheer willpower. And there's another form of success that you can observe. But again, when we look at what's being imposed today by a group, a minority of the population, and keep in mind, the minority of the population is still far greater than one individual. And this is where we need, in today's world, more people standing together against injustice or something that's being imposed that's having negative consequences, or to serve the agenda, the will of even fewer people. So willpower, very important in character, and you have to learn to discipline that. And you can do that by every day there's something that you can challenge your will. It could be a good example, for example, is food. If you're on a diet and you want to lose weight, or you want to maybe eat quote unquote healthy, and that's a different topic right there, what is healthy, you can have the willpower to do something good or do something bad, or eat whatever or not eat whatever. These are all little challenges throughout the day to test yourself, to strengthen your will. It's these little things that will add up to a stronger will. So when you do have to face something great in your life, you have that willpower, and that comes through discipline. And again, discipline is freedom. And how does that work? Because discipline conditions yourself, for example, on habits, say a good habit. And once that's conditioned into yourself, then you don't have to worry about it. It just comes naturally. And I've talked about this in a few videos back about having these natural instincts and so forth. So anyway, that's all I really want to say about that. Something to think about. Work on your willpower, your will, that inner strength, that strong character. Work on your discipline. And with all that comes confidence. And it's very important to be confident, because no matter what anyone tries to impose on you, inside of yourself is what really matters. And all this ties into your soul. Anyway, thank you for watching. Please like, subscribe, comment, and share.